All right, I am live, everybody. What's going on? Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media. I've been doing quite a few streams this week, more than I normally would. So I do. I'm not even going to apologize about it. Listen, if you're going to be a sportscaster, you try to, you be consistent with it. Hold on just 1 second. Let me email the guest here, the StreamYard link. And I'm not letting anybody else on. Okay, this whole scheduling deal with people, getting people on, this green screen. I got to work on green screens and stuff. What's up, Bet? This whole getting people on when I have a scheduled stream with someone in particular, I'm going to stop that. So I'll wait for MSU #1 fan, the special guest today, to join in, and we'll get started. He wanted to talk about the Michigan State rivalry today. So I'll wait for him. This is terrible. I tried to get a green screen with this. Hold on. I really got to get a real green screen or something. But, yeah, we're talking this rivalry today, though. Michigan State Spartans and Michigan football. And again, I'm going to wait. He knows we scheduled for 3 o'clock. I know that I could have gone. I got here, I guess, in time and everything, but still. I know if I seem like I'm a little sweaty, I was trying to cut the front yard today, cut the grass and everything. Then it started. I wasn't even close to being done. Then it started to storm and everything. So hold on just 1 second. Let me update this to a proper color for the team here, or teams, I guess. But he's a MSU #1 fan, and he is here. You're on with Ballard.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. How about yourself, man?
Good.
Awesome. Appreciate you wanting to do a stream with me to talk the Michigan State rivalry. So maybe give a little introduction about yourself, talk about being a Michigan State fan like you did the last time you did a stream with me and everything, and talk about what this rivalry really means to you.
So I started first watching the rivalry in 2013.
Okay.
When Michigan State had Max Bola and the good players in it, and Connor Cook.
Yeah.
The rivalry means a lot. It usually says, if Michigan wins that, they get to Columbus and screw up.
Yeah.
But that's just Michigan being under Jim Harbaugh, though.
Right.
They beat Ohio State under B. Hoke.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, what has Michigan done to impress us to beat Ohio State?
Right.
Nothing.
Other than win a couple of games against maybe a bad team like Rutgers.
Yeah.
But everyone beats Rutgers.
And then you beat Maryland. It's Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So you look at this rivalry series. This is a in-state rivalry. Now, in-state rivalries are really huge. I'm curious. So Michigan fans, I'm sure if you were to ask them, what's their biggest rival, they probably would say Ohio State. And I'm sure Michigan State fan, would you get mad at them saying that Michigan State isn't bigger than the game as they call it, or do you kind of like do uh, Michigan State fans get it?
I think Michigan fans get because Mike Hart back in 2007 made his little brother comments.
Hmm.
So Michigan fan could say, "Oh, we can beat our little brother." But
Right,
you can't beat the guys in Columbus.
right,
If you can beat your in-state rival, why can't you beat your big rival backyard brawl? Like seriously.
exactly. I mean, but then again, you're a Michigan State fan, but can we both kind of agree here? Let's agree that Michigan State isn't really at the level of Ohio State quite yet. So, I mean,
Yeah,
there's that understanding. That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
But at the same time, I believe this: anything can happen in a rivalry game, especially the big ones. This is
yep,
a big rivalry game. It's in
yep,
state.
yep,
This is like Michigan's, if you want to say, second biggest rival or tied for first, whatever.
yeah,
But it's still, um, you know, it's still huge.
yeah,
It's like so for Alabama, they have the Iron Bowl. That's the
yep,
biggest one they got. In
yep,
my opinion, I think it's the biggest in college football. Obviously, that's
yep,
debatable. It's at least got to be one of the top three biggest. Come on now. But you look at Auburn, Alabama's rivals.
yep,
There's the Iron Bowl. That's the big one every single year.
yep,
And then you have the third Saturday rivalry with Tennessee, and
yep,
you got I don't know what exactly they call the LSU Alabama game. I guess it's just the LSU Bama game, but it's still a pretty big rivalry. It's been some good competition over the years. So, the Michigan State game, if I had to put it in terms for Bama, is probably like Bama LSU. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So,
yeah.
is that kind of how it is? I guess with Michigan State and Michigan fans, it's like, hey, it's not the game, but it's right there.
It's the in-state game. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
Michigan State has rivals that are Penn State, Michigan, Notre Dame.
yeah,
And you could argue Ohio State possibly. I mean, we ruined their national championship hopes not once but twice.
right.
So you have to think back in 13, we beat Michigan 29-6.
Yeah.
Whoever rushes the best wins the game.
Has it been one of those games where it's been all ground and pound, run the ball, and you win the game? Is that kind of how this rivalry's been?
Yeah, and I mean, you had Clever Cook who threw a touchdown pass
Hmm.
in the first half because that,
Yeah,
and then you have a field goal and you have two more rushing touchdowns, one by Connor Cook. So you can argue that, but the big thing is for Michigan, that offensive line could not block.
right.
They started on our own 41-yard line. Next thing you know, they're punting on 4th and 31.
Fourth and 31.
Yep.
What's up,
It,
Nate? The great, don't be late, aka Nate Kingston. He says go blue. What do you
yep.
say?
Let's go green, buddy.
Yeah.
And you can argue that, say, Michigan, you ran the ball, but Michigan State has 200 and some yards. You had negative 48.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Rutgers could have beat them. It was just that bad.
Right.
Then you have 2014. I'm not sure if you knew about this, but Jake Ryan, the linebacker, threw a
Hmm.
steak and shoved it in our ass. We won that 35-11.
Yeah.
2011, we win 28-14.
Hmm.
2012, we lose 12-10.
Right.
But Michigan's four scores were all field goals, same in 13. they scored a field goal in 14. They
Right.
actually, from, excuse me about that, but 2012-13, they didn't score a touchdown from 2012 to midway through the fourth quarter till after the touchdown was scored. That's midway through.
Yeah. So
So
go ahead.
yeah, looking at that, you think that Michigan State said, since you're going to disrespect our field, we're just going to go ahead and run up the score.
Right.
That's what we did.
Yeah. I was going to say, looking at the rivalry, so all time, Michigan leads the series 71-36 with 5 ties. And those
Yeah.
5 tie games was the 4th overall matchup in 1908. That was in East Lansing, where the Spartans play. That was a 0-0 tie. There was 30 and 31 back in 1930 and 1931, a tie game at 0-0, both in Ann Arbor. Fast forward to East Lansing in 1958, 12-12. 1963 in Ann Arbor, it was tied 7-7. And then that was it. I don't know. I figured I threw those facts in there. But what are your thoughts on, like, I think tie games, I know we don't have them now, but I mean, can we agree that tie games in sports are stupid because no one gets their feelings hurt?
Yes. It's like, if you put a team like Rutgers up against Oregon, Oregon is going to pound them.
Yeah.
Oregon. It's Oregon playing Rutgers.
Right.
Yeah. But if you think, well, if Ohio State, this year they would be playing Ohio State, that might be a tie. Go to overtime and see what happens.
Right.
But
So go ahead.
Michigan should actually lead the series 72-36 because
Right.
we're all aware about 2015. That game, Michigan fans went to forget.
Right. I'm sure they want to forget that. Definitely,
Yep.
because you look back at that game, 27-23. I don't know exactly how that happened, but maybe I could find it real quick, or you could let me know.
Yeah, we never led that game.
Oh, this was this game. I'm gonna show what happened real quick if that's cool with you,
Yep, go ahead.
because you guys won this, so of course.
Yep.
Hold on, share screen, and we're gonna show what exactly happened. I'm not gonna worry about sharing audio, but I'll show exactly what happened. So it was a punt, and he fumbled it big time.
Yeah.
And that was a miracle play right then and there.
Yeah.
And that was almost like a kick six in the Iron Bowl. That guy's face too is the face
Yep.
that's like kind of a meme and everything, I think too. But this type of play here and this win was almost it almost makes me think of the kick six Iron Bowl, even though this one was not tied. It still ended with like a returned kick last minute to win the game. So I mean,
And the thing, he fumbled the ball earlier in the game and fell on it. That time he did the opposite. It's 4th and 2.
Right.
You have a home of a fullback who averages 4.5 yards a carry. Davion Smith 6.2, I think. You're on your 48-yard line. You're not gonna run the football when you have 200 and some yards against the top 4 defense. Come on, Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
His brother, come on, figure that out. Run it.
Yeah. So, and again, you look back at it, there's been 5 ties. I mentioned those ones. Michigan wins the first matchup October 12th, 1898, going a long time ago. Wins the first matchup in a shutout, 39-0. We just talked about the importance and significance of this rivalry. Especially for fans in state, like what
Yeah.
happens with Michigan and Michigan State fans, like outside of that weekend when they play each other, I'm sure they got a lot of love and respect for each other
Oh,
and kind of joke around about it too, right?
yeah. And the week before the game
Hmm.
in 2013, Isaiah Lewis made the comment he will not say the word Michigan,
Yeah,
and he got the interception. And I always say, if you're gonna buy me a Michigan shirt, I always put exit and I put RIP 2015 on it.
yeah, probably burn it too.
Yep, burn it. Yeah, if we win, I'll dance on the ashes.
Yeah, I got you, man. I mean, listen, and this is what. So here's something. Uh, as of this year, here's some accomplishments by the two rivals,
Yep,
which I'm sure that this type of rivalry has played into. In some cases, maybe in terms of who's winning the division in some years. Not recently, because you got to think Michigan and Ohio State, but in
yeah,
some, like in the past, this has had Big Ten implications or title
yep,
implications, I'm sure.
yep.
So here's the stats right here. I'll share Chrome tab. Can you see that?
Yeah,
So
look at,
compliments by the two rivals. So
yep,
Michigan apparently 11 national titles. Michigan
yep,
State with 6. College
yep,
football playoff appearances 0 for Michigan, only 1 for Michigan State. Of course, Bama shut them out 38-0.
yep,
Uh, bowl appearances. It's not even close. Michigan leads that 48-29. Postseason bowl record 21-27 for Michigan. 13-16 for Michigan State. Rose Bowl appearances 20 for Michigan, 5 for Michigan State. Rose Bowl wins. So this is an interesting stat here. So
yeah,
Michigan for a Rose Bowl is 8
yeah,
for 20. Michigan
yeah,
State is 4 out of 5. Michigan
yeah,
State has a little bit of a better record, whereas Michigan seems to make it and they haven't even won half, and they've made it 20
no,
times.
no,
Big Ten championship appearances: 3 for Michigan State, uh, 2, 0 for Michigan. Big Ten championship game wins:
yep,
0 for Michigan, 2 for Michigan State.
yeah,
Big Ten titles. So obviously, Big Ten titles being there hasn't always been a championship game,
right,
but they've been the best in the Big Ten.
yeah,
Michigan there 42 times, Michigan State 9. Oh,
yeah,
all-time program records. Here we go. Michigan has an all-time record of 962 to 346 to 36. Look at Michigan State, 708 to 465 to 44. So Michigan seems to be better, but at the same time,
mm,
you guys focus in on the rivalry and you like to bring
yeah,
up, oh, remember we had that long win streak against you guys that one,
yeah,
decade or whoever,
yep,
so even though Michigan might look like all time, they're in
yep,
charge of the Spartans.
yep,
Spartans still have some bragging rights for,
yep,
some accomplishments.
yeah. I keep saying it. You can think behind us. You can think it, but prove it to me on Saturday that you do it.
Right.
Prove it.
Yeah.
And then Michigan State has won 2 out of 3 Big Ten titles.
Yeah.
With the run, if we did not get that running into the kicker by Isaiah Lewis, we beat Wisconsin.
Yeah. I got you.
And then, but we
Because if
won.
not for that, like you just said, the running into the kicker, roughing the kicker, whatever penalty
Yeah,
it is, you
yep,
guys probably would have won that game.
yep. 41-39 would be the exact score too.
Oh yeah.
That's with Kirk Cousins and Le'Veon Bell, who
Hmm.
either he's gonna make you miss or he's gonna drag you along.
Yeah.
Let me think. about the whole 15 game. There's a blatant targeting call that should not have been called on Joe Bolden, the Michigan linebacker,
Yeah,
who was blocked in the Connor Cook.
yeah. Here's
And then,
something. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, we beat Iowa in 2015, 16-13, with the last second touchdown by L.J. Scott.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Um, let's see. 1934, going way back here. Michigan State snaps Michigan's 22 game unbeaten streak. Now, I'm a little bit curious here. Uh, was Michigan undefeated based on in this rivalry or all like they won 22 straight games in general? Hold on. I could figure this out.
yeah.
Um, game results. Again, that was I think 1934. Yeah, because you got okay. So Michigan started to win this in the 11th overall matchup, 1916, and they kept winning and winning. They all those games except for at least one were in Ann Arbor. The one in East Lansing was 1924, and they still won that. Uh, there were two ties in 1930 and 1931. Then they won in 32 and 33. Then you finally beat them, but you shut them out 16-0 in
Yep.
1934 in Ann Arbor. So that was huge for
Yeah.
Michigan State then. Long time
Yeah.
ago then.
If you think about it, Michigan used to have NFL talent.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really have to say Michigan with Tom Brady and Charles
Yeah.
Woodson?
Oh yeah.
Like, that's the best thing about Michigan. That's it. What else can we say? Their punter should be going to the Extreme Football League for dropping the ball. I mean, and
Yeah.
there's been a lot of jawing going on too the last couple of seasons. I've been noticing after plays and taunting.
Yeah.
If you have to think, don't do nothing stupid to cost your team a win.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is probably again like this is probably one of the most inconsistent type of rivalries I think I've ever seen looking at all this. I mean, it's up and down. It's like, oh, here's Michigan. They have a 4 game win streak here, and then Michigan State wins one, or Michigan wins five more, or then
Yeah.
Michigan wins the next 10, or whatever happens. I mean, it's up and down. It's not very consistent. Even though Michigan did win the last two meetings,
Yep.
Spartans won in 2017. Wolverines won in 2016 after losing for 3 straight years. So
Yep.
it's even still today, up and
Yeah.
down. Um, there's no Big Ten football in 2020. Sadly, they called it off. They canceled it. But going forward with this rivalry, um, what needs to happen with Michigan State football in order to compete and win against Michigan going forward?
If you look at the last couple of seasons, 2018, in the Penn State game, Brian Mularkey suffered a shoulder injury
Right.
that really. Hang on 1 second.
Uh,
I'm back.
okay.
So we have Mularkey injured. Now the question is, who backs him up? Will it be Damian Terry
Right.
or Lombardi? Lombardi has the experience.
Yeah.
Now, both teams have the same question. Who's going to be our starting quarterback?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the game was originally scheduled for the 17th of October in East Lansing.
Right.
And then you think, well, back in the day when Mike Hart made those comments, Michigan State was 8-5 after
Yeah.
Mike Hart's comments.
Yeah. So, and again, look at recent years. Last time you guys won was 2017. That was 14-10. That was in Ann Arbor.
Yep.
I know, again, we talked about Michigan State football on a certain live stream, just talking about the team in general.
Yeah.
But what has happened the past couple of years? You won in Ann Arbor 2017, 14-10. It was close. Then in 2018, at home, Michigan State loses 21-17. Then last year it was 44-10 in Ann Arbor. What has gone down in East Lansing that has, like what's going on with Michigan State now, and where do you see it going forward with the rivalry? Like, how do you see them getting back to beating Michigan and maybe getting a good win streak going pretty soon, or do they need some help, and is it going to take time?
I think it's going to take time for Mel Tucker to. I think he can make it closer and closer, let him claw his way in.
Yeah.
Then we'll see the tide time to turn. 2018, that was actually 21-7.
Right.
Yeah. We scored a fake field goal. Kicker threw it to Brian Lewerke. He caught the pass.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had Doubles People Jones who outran.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not sure if were you aware about the Devin Bush pregame shenanigans?
No, but I know about Devin Bush. I know he's a linebacker. He's now in the NFL, and he's a pretty good linebacker. But what happened with the pre-game shenanigans, as you put it?
Yeah. We do this walk with our arm in arm across the field. We did it. We were going to do it. Then Michigan's on the field warming up, and then in Bush on the Spartan logo, slashing it and all that. I think someone said, we ain't breaking our leg, and there's splishing and shoving, and
Yeah.
and then Devin Bush does it again, and we have more of that. But it could have been handled better by the adults.
Right. I gotcha.
But for the rivalry, it's good.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't really have much else to really ask or anything, but is there anything else you could probably tell me about the rivalry that I probably didn't know, or anything specific maybe?
Yeah, the 24 or 17 game, Michigan was on I think we handed their one loss. They were undefeated, I believe.
Yeah.
Then Corn, they had a chance to win it. Joe Bocci says no.
Right.
We won here last time. I'm a miracle. We're winning here again. And then, what do you think about the live chat and the questions that are coming in?
It looks like they're just trolling me right now. They're not really asking a whole lot about this rivalry or really anything. But let's see. Yeah, if you guys have any questions for MSU fan or anything about this rivalry, feel free to ask away. Alan Altig, who's going to be #1 overall. Shoot, people still on that? You ask one question about a game next year, mistakenly looking ahead, and they ask you about stuff like 2052 or something.
Yeah. Let's start the 2021 or back it up to 2013, 12, whatever.
Right.
But in 2015, we should have lost. We should have lost.
Yeah.
But
no,
we didn't. Because the punter was snap. what do? Run with it.
Hmm.
He doesn't say, oh, I'm just going to make a spin move. Kicks it. Grayson Miller and Lawrence Thomas bat it down. Then Jalen Moss Jackson somehow catches it, and
Yeah,
then he goes in for a touchdown.
awesome. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. And then there's questions about what he stayed in bounds, the clock expired. That determined who won the Big Ten. Well, the Ohio State game said Michigan State loses, we are not going to the Big Ten championship. If we beat
Yeah.
Ohio State, beat Penn State, we're in. And we
Right.
beat Ohio State. And then Penn State wasn't good that season.
Yeah.
Our center scored.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's always cool to see a play like that. Like I remember the Sugar Bowl semifinal a couple years ago when Alabama played Clemson. They had a defensive tackle line up and put him like he was a tight end or something. Deron Payne caught the football for a touchdown. It's always cool to see plays like that when you get like the offensive lineman to catch it or run it in or something.
I think cover safeties that are undersized think, I'm not going to talk to this dude. He's probably 310 to 325. You're probably 85. And you're probably going to break your jaw trying to do it.
Right.
And I think Michigan State's coaches always tell his players, buckle up your chin straps. It's going to be hard smash mouth football this week when we play Michigan.
Yeah.
So.
This comment says, MSU fan, what's the over-under on MSU beating Michigan in the past 30 years?
So the last 30 years, you look at
that's going back to 1990.
Yeah, that's a little far back. I can give him one for the decade though. I think we won 2010 and 11. Losing 12, 13, 14, and then Michigan fans go in the corner and cover your eyes or cry, whatever. 15.
I got the record past 30 years though for Michigan State. It's 13-27 if I counted 30 games, right?
Yeah.
13 wins in the past 30 years.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. If you think about it, Michigan State has beaten them, but we just haven't gotten the.
Consistency is a problem.
Yeah, for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we beat Michigan, or if Michigan says, man, we play Michigan State, if we beat them, we can beat Ohio State. The problem is, you beat Michigan State, but you can't beat Ohio State.
Right.
And I don't know why Jim Harbaugh says, well, we can beat everyone in the Big Ten. Dude, you get blown out by Ohio State.
You mentioned something like you can't even beat. See, I'm sure, has there really ever been a point in the rivalry where it was like, normally if Michigan beats MSU, they lose to Ohio State or vice versa? You know, has it ever been one of those things like, oh, well, since Michigan, you heard that thunder, right?
Yeah.
It's getting kind of bad over here, but has there really ever been a point in the rivalry where you looked at it and said, well, in recent years, they beat Michigan State, they lose to Ohio State. Oh, look, they lost to Michigan State this year. They might have a chance to beat Ohio State. Has it ever really been like that in the rivalry?
I think in 2012 or 11, we beat Michigan. They come out and beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's when they had, what's his name, Denard Robinson.
Yeah.
Who was that athletic net? So you can argue saying, is it the coaching the problem? Is it kicking? You know how that goes.
Right.
Then you probably need tissues for that.
Yeah.
But then you look at it, if you can run the ball over 200 yards, you actually have a chance to win. And Michigan State hasn't done that.
Right.
With Elijah Collins, I think we can improve that.
Yeah.
So.
Junkyard dog. I went fishing in a thunderstorm. Almost got struck. Oh, that sucks.
Yep. Thunder. It was thunder.
Lightning and the thunder. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I really don't have much questions left, but
Yeah.
again, going forward in this rivalry,
Yeah.
what's the key for Michigan State to maybe get a winning streak against Michigan and just be consistent with winning this rivalry?
Buckle up your chin strap, boys. We got Smash Mouth football to play this week. Run the football.
Just run the ball?
Yep, run it. Play action. Pass. Mix it up. You can't run the ball every single play of the game. It's impossible.
Right. But you gotta run. You can run it a lot.
Yeah. But if you have a freshman quarterback, let him run a option play or two.
Yeah.
Hand it off or do a split screen. Let him get the bugs out and say, here's what we normally do. If you feel comfortable doing it, do it.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to happen. And our defense has been getting gashed on these deep throws by Shea Patterson, but he's no longer there. So what do you do with the McCaffrey? More mobile? Do you do a 3-4? 2 linebackers cover, 1 blitzes, and 1 covers the middle of the field, and quarterback spy. What do you do?
Right.
So, yeah. So.
Let's see. I really don't have a whole lot of other questions about the rivalry. You got anything else to add on to it or anything like that? Maybe see if the chat has any questions about it.
Yeah, shout out to Nate for being a Michigan fan. Do you guys remember that 15 game note? Nate, seriously. Pick it up and run. It's not that hard. Then you call us a little brother.
They call you the little brother? Well, that's probably because of the all-time lead, 71-36-5.
Yeah.
Probably because of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you get started, and I gotta go. So.
All right. I appreciate you coming on to talk about this rivalry and everything.
Yep, no problem.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on.
Yep.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Interesting insight on the Michigan State rivalry from the Big Ten, a really big rivalry in college football. A little underrated, I would say. I mean, looking at this history, got some insight from MSU #1 fan. Shout out to you. Really do appreciate it. The Battle of Paul Bunyan's Trophy. It's had 112 meetings in total. Michigan leads it 71-36-5. In the trophy series, I guess they haven't always had the trophy. Michigan leads it 38-26-2, or 38-27-2. I'm sorry. The longest win streak is Michigan with a 14-game win streak from 1916 to 1929. And of course, again, as you guys heard, Michigan has won the past 2 matchups. So appreciate Michigan State fan, MSU #1 fan, coming on here, talking this rivalry. Appreciate it. I think I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Let's see, Junkyard Dog. Can we talk about UGA in Florida in the next episode? Next episode of what? I mean, if you want to do a stream, talking Georgia and Florida, the what do they call it? The cocktail party or whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Tell you what, Junkyard, hit me up, send me an email, and we could schedule a day to talk about that game. So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and get off. Appreciate you guys for showing up. No live stream on my channel tonight. However, as I mentioned earlier, the Unprofessional Sports Show tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We got 2 guests on the show tonight. You'll just have to show up and see who they are. It's a surprise. Yep. So appreciate MSU #1 fan for coming on. Again, this show tonight, Unprofessional Sports Show, Week 2, Episode 2, however you want to put it, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 Central, 8, whatever MT stands for, and 7 Pacific Time. So shout out to my man, Chess Hall, the actual host of the show. And yeah, and I'm the co-host. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate MSU fan for coming on and talking this rivalry. Thanks to Neo, Junkyard Dog, Alan, Altig. Huh? You like? We had, of course, MSU fan, Extreme Striker, Nate the Great, Don't Be Late, a.k.a. Nate Kingston. And looks like that's pretty much it. Thanks for showing up today. Appreciate you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Till then, Ballard Sports Media. Checking out. Y'all have a good day.